Hi again, fellow unlicensed thinkers. I think we've all heard the term that you can't prove a negative. And really that's what we're trying to do when we make an effort to compare ourselves to other people. Because I can't prove that I would have an easier life had I been born into another family. I can't prove that I would have had a more difficult life in that family over there. Just as someone else can't say that they would have had an easier life if they were like me, or that their life would have been harder. We're all different. We all make of our situation what it is and what we are able to or willing to make of our situation. So comparing ourselves to others is kind of asinine, really. And I was, well, say that different. I was at this discussion group, and one of the people there, we were talking about morality, and they were talking about how much easier life must be for someone who is a psychopath than someone who has a high level of empathy. And I don't really think that that's the case, but again, what we're trying to do is we're trying to compare ourselves to other people. So they were saying, well, a psychopath is able to get away with more. They don't have to worry about things getting in their way. Well, true, but they also lived the life of a psychopath and not the life of someone who gets to feel all of that love and wonder of being an empath. So saying, well, they have an easier life. Well, if you want to say that getting away with doing bad things to people means that your life is easier, then I suppose so. But again, that doesn't really make one's life easier. That just makes one's life different. And they themselves, the psychopaths, they may think, well, gee, it must be interesting to have this other life where you can see other people's emotions and you can connect with people better, because that seems like it would be a lot less lonely. So we're all doing this all the time. We have this this jealousy and this envy that we like to display. But really, jealousy and envy, if you think about them, it's not so much about comparing yourself to another person. It's about having something within your golden shadow, something that you know that you are capable of or worth, that you haven't yet materialized or experienced in your life for whatever reason, by your, usually, let's be honest, usually by our own doing. And so we want to make these comparisons all the time. We want to say, well, gee, if I was only like this person, if I only had this person, their life must be so great. But they might be envying you. And really, at the same time, what you're both doing is you're both uncovering something about yourself, because that which you envy, that which you are jealous of, it says something about you. You are projecting an unrealized aspect of yourself onto that other person, because you can't admire something, you can't be jealous of or envious of something that you consider completely outside of what you are or are capable of. And I talk about this a lot of times with considering yourself a good person. Like, you can be generous up to the point that you understand what generosity is. Anything beyond that, anyone who is more generous than what you understand as good generosity, will look like an idiot to you. They will look like someone who's just throwing away their hard-earned money, or not actually using their wealth well. So to the level of which you can understand generosity, like truly understand it, that is what you are capable of. And so anytime that we feel this envy or jealousy, we are really, in a way, it's, and I hate using this term, I suppose, but the higher self, telling our soul, telling us that that is what we could be if we would stop blocking ourselves from being that. So we go back to comparing yourself to people. Well, it doesn't make any sense. You're trying to prove a negative. You're trying to say, I'm so positive that if this was different in my life, that I would be happier or something like that. But you don't know that. Maybe you'd be completely miserable if you had that thing that this other person has. Maybe that's an aspect of themselves that causes them a huge amount of misery, and you don't know it. Because again, you can't prove that negative. You can't prove that your life would be different in a specific way. You'll never know. So just live your life. Just be you. Just be happy where you are. Be happy where you're going. Be happy for where you've been, because where you've been makes you you. If you lived a different life, you wouldn't be you. You wouldn't be you in order to have that wish that you had lived a different life. You'd be someone else wishing that they had lived a different life. And it's all completely ridiculous. So just be happy where you're at and have a great day.